హలో ఫ్రెండ్స్, 8 మే 2024న గాయత్రి విద్యా పరిషత్ మెడికల్ కాలేజీలో శరీర అవయవ దానంపై జరిగిన అవగాహన సదస్సు అద్భుతంగా జరిగింది. డాక్టర్ ఏ హిమబిందు గారు, ప్రొఫెసర్ అండ్ హెచ్ఓడి ఆఫ్ ఎనాటమీ, కార్యక్రమాన్ని చక్కగా నిర్వహించారు. ఇందులో డాక్టర్ కేపీ రావు గారు, ట్యూటర్ ఆఫ్ ఎనాటమీ, మరియు డాక్టర్ జిఎం కృష్ణారావు గారు, డైరెక్టర్ అకాడమిక్స్, మరియు డాక్టర్ సత్యవరప్రసాద్ గారు పాల్గొన్నారు. చీఫ్ గెస్ట్గా సావిత్రిబాయి ఫులే ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ అండ్ చారిటబుల్ ట్రస్ట్ చైర్పర్సన్ మరియు ఆల్ ఇండియా బాడీ అండ్ ఆర్గన్ డోనర్స్ అసోసియేషన్ ఫౌండర్ శ్రీమతి గూడూరు సీతామహాలక్ష్మి గారు పాల్గొన్నారు. ఆ ట్రస్ట్ తరఫున శ్రీమతి ఎస్ ఇందిరా గారు, శ్రీమతి నర్రా సీతామహాలక్ష్మి గారు, శ్రీమతి అరుణ గారు, శ్రీమతి సురేఖ గారు, శ్రీమతి రామేశ్వరి గారు మరియు వినోద్ బాలు గారు పాల్గొన్నారు. ముందుగా డాక్టర్ హిమబిందు గారి పరిచయ వాక్యాలను, తరువాత శ్రీమతి ఇందిరా గారి సందేశాన్ని విందాం. వీడియో మిస్ అవ్వకుండా చూడండి.
I will call Vinod Balu Garu, who is the blood man, who is give awareness on the blood donation. Sajja Indira Madam, the trustee of the Savitribai Trust. Aruna Madam, the trustee of Savitribai Trust. N. Sita Maleshwari Madam, who I know previously when I am in Geetham also, because ma'am donated her mother's body to Geetham. One of the trustee of the Savitribai Trust. Rameshwari Madam, a person of the Savitribai Trust. Guduru Sita Maleshwari Madam, who is also the founder of organ and body donation also. So actually what I heard is a professional teacher, but you want to become a doctor. So because of her family circumstances, she couldn't achieve it. But even then also she is having a very good knowledge of the complete human anatomy. If you ask anything about ma'am or about that, she will explain you also. So that is the one thing about the madam. And so the trust educates people. So she adopted some children and provide the support so that they become self-resilient, about themselves. They become independent in future also. And madam has started an organ donation movement in the state. So after seeing so many people dying because of lack of that organ donors, and whatever the thing which we are seeing is a big team of the trust. So his trustees who are having the same mindset, so about the same thing, so which is taking forward about this that educational trust supporting so many people. And one thing I just want to tell about the Vinod Balu sir is about the blood donation. So whatever the message which was sent to me is the blood man. So he has participated in so many blood camps and collected so many units. So those blood units will help the needy people. Okay, so with this brief introduction about the trust and these trustees, so now I request the madam to continue the program.
Very good afternoon to all the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and my dear students. I'm also in the teaching line all my life. 50 years have gone by. So it's such an honor and a privilege to be able to address an august gathering like you, the saviors of mankind, because you are going to be doctors soon, full-fledged doctors. And here I am. I would like to tell you a story which has laid the seeds for this wonderful organization. SPECT, we call it for short, Savitribai Phule Educational and Charitable Trust. Here is a lady who has been affected with a kidney problem. And after getting treatment in Vizag and Hyderabad, she was advised to go to Coimbatore. There is a special hospital for kidney issues, it seems. Ved Nayagam, something its name is. And there, while she was undergoing treatment for her own issue, she saw a 7-year-old kid. Also, I mean, he also has come, and then the hospital is full of people, it seems, with kidney issues. She said she was so surprised that there are so many people who are suffering from kidney problems. So here is a 7-year-old kid, and then after a few days, he passed away. She saw it right in front of her eyes. And when she asked the doctors what was the reason, why did he pass away, such an young kid? And the answer that was given to her was shocking to her. They said that this boy could have lived if only he got a kidney for transplant. His kidney has become dysfunctional and he needed another kidney, and there is no kidney available to be transplanted. That is why he died. Normally, people like us, when we see such things, when we hear such things, when we read newspapers, we come across, we do read a lot of very sad, gory details of horrible news. But then what do? Including us, every one of us. We feel sad, very dejected. For a day or two, we think of it, ayo, God, why did this happen? Poor thing. Like that we say, we think, and then after 2 days we move on with our own lives. That's the normal tendency. But not this lady whom I am going to introduce as our chairperson, Dr. Budur Sita Malashmi. So she came home to Vizag. She got her problem, solved. She is actually, living with one kidney only now. The other kidney has become, some kind of dysfunctional it became, but still, she is fine. So when she came back, the face of that 7-year-old kid has haunted her for days, for months. She couldn't just get him out of her mind and heart. She started thinking, why? Why is this? What is this organ donation? What is happening in this country? Why should young people, young kids should die like that? Why there are so many people waiting in line for kidneys and livers and such things? So she started doing research. And then she found 1994 there was a National Transplant Act. 1994. And this happened, I forgot to tell you. When did this happen? 2002 to 2003, all this. So the act was there on paper, but nothing was in effect. So she started, doing deep research. It went on for nearly 2 years. What was happening in other countries, here, there, she found out everything. And to her horror and dismay, she found out that small European countries like Denmark, nearly 30% or 40% organ donors were there in that country. And coming to India, with 142 crore population, today it is, I don't know whether I should be very proud of it or very sad of it. We are the highly populated nation in the entire world. So with 142 crore population, what is the organ donation or donors number here, percentage wise? A big 0. So what a tragedy it is. And then again, people like us, I wonder at this, kind of thinking. She has been, like a kind of a fighter right from her childhood, from what I know. I have learned about her childhood and youth. Always with a questioning mind, whenever and wherever there is an injustice, wherever there is an issue, wherever there is pain, wherever there is suffering, she will be the first person to go and address, no matter whatever is within her capacity. Perhaps with that questioning mind, she started thinking, what can I do about it? She is just a single person, a school teacher in a government school, but still, look at her, guts, I should say. She began thinking, what can I do? And then there were two things. First, she thought, it is not that people of India do not have any compassion, do not have any kindness, do not want to help other people. Because all the religions put together in the entire world tell you that same thing. Paropakarartham idam sariram. Not only here, every religion teaches you to be kind, to be helpful, to be compassionate. You know that Buddhism is based precisely, completely on compassion. So it is not that people of India lack compassion. So what is lacking here? She thought what is lacking is awareness. People don't even know that we can give organs for donation. We can, give new life to so many people. There is a possibility. People don't even know. That's one. And then the next. So how do I go to people now? Next question comes. You know how difficult it is to talk about death. Now you are all medicos and later on you will understand. Here in the hospital it's a different issue. But outside, you try and talk with anybody regarding just the word death. The moment you mention, they say, please, let's not talk of it. As if, it is lurking in the shadows. Anyway, it is lurking. It just is going to gobble them up. People are so scared, afraid to mention the word death. And here is this person who was going to friends, associates, colleagues, and then talking about it. And I don't know how much time she took, but then that is what, bring awareness to the people is one challenge. The second challenge is so many fears, social taboos, religious stigmas, like if you give donation, like if you give eyes, in the next birth you'll be born a blind person. Somebody was actually telling me this recently also. So like this, there are many religious phobias, fears, social stigmas. People don't even talk of death. People don't even talk of, like what happens after death. We are so scared. So this is one challenge. How to go to people and convince them that this is a wonderful possibility, that you can actually help somebody live. ప్రాణదానం కన్నా మించింది ప్రపంచంలో ఏది లేదు కదా. You are doctors, and that tomorrow if you save somebody, the parents or whatever the family member, they'll come and touch your feet innumerable times in your career. Why? Because you saved their near and dear ones' lives. So that's the most important thing. We can do anything only if there is life in this body. Otherwise, no chance at all. So what else is there? Greater gift, greater, what can I say, boon that we can have. That you can give life to somebody. So with this agenda in her hand, one is that, and the second thing I'll tell you, what is the other challenge? It is not enough if even if you convince the people, you have to talk to medical people, so many medical professionals, doctors, professors, and even the government. That's the biggest issue. How much red tapeism will be there in the government sector, how much of a hierarchy. For an ordinary paper, for our salaries, we heard long ago, 30 desks, just the salary paper has to go, I believe, to be signed. So imagine a thing like this, which is unheard of so far in the history of this country. Like people voluntarily coming and giving donation, the family is accepting, not the person alone, the whole family has to be convinced. Such a big task. So two big challenges, undaunting. She moved forward. Very daunting tasks, but she is a very brave person. So undaunting, she said, let me do it. And then she went ahead, and then she did it. She gave interviews. She wrote, a lot of articles in the newspapers. She prepared slogans like, you can live even after death. Don't talk of immortality only in the religious way, that you take another birth and so on. You can live right now, here itself. I'll just give a small example before I conclude, because I'm supposed to give only introduction. There is so much to say, and there are my friends waiting. I was a student in the university then, I think. We had a class like this, and then a woman police officer came and said, I lost my daughter who is 15 years old, and I gave her, eyes and other organs. Not organ those days, only eyes, I think, eyes. And then she said, but I'm happy in a way that my daughter's eyes are still looking on. They are still looking at the world. They are able to experience life. So this is just one small example. So with these two agendas, convincing people, making them, getting rid of their fears and stigmas, and then going and convincing all the medical professionals they are with her. She made friends with so many of them, and then going and convincing. She said before the Jeevan Dan Act, it came only because of this. We are very proud to say Jeevan Dan Act came into effect, existence even, because of work of our chairperson ma'am Sita Mahalakshmi Garu and her great team, with the help of so many medical professionals from all over the state. So before that came, how she had to make 3 CMs, chief ministers of this state, I believe, before that act. So how much work has been done so it started with around 2005. There was one incident I have to tell you. In 2008, 35 people she got, a historic event in the history of this country and this state also. 35 people signed their wills that after our deaths, we are donating our bodies to KGH. So all the 35 people with the leadership of Sita ma'am have gone to KGH and handed them over to the then maybe dean of the hospital. That was one historic event. And another great landmark is in 2013, Jeevan Dan Act came into existence. So there is so much more, as I said, friends, but then they will give you more details. What exactly is this body donation? What exactly is organ donation? Before that, as a preamble, blood donation. That's how they started their activities. So all these, my friends, will expatiate on these wonderful, beautiful topics and what are the achievements of SPECT as an organization, and even till today how she is inspiring so many youngsters like you. Here is this Mr. Vinod, who is inspired by her, who has conducted 976 blood camps so far. So you can imagine the way, our level of inspiration can be extended. I'll conclude with one beautiful quote which is very close to my heart, which all of you should learn as human beings. I always feel, as this is Dalai Lama, I hope you know he's a Tibetan Buddhist. It is just a beautiful quote which can apply to any one of us. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings, means living people like us, beings remain, let me love, let me help, let me serve, let me make my own contribution to the community around me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.